pressure mounts to make the chase.
Being on the bubble is very tough.
There's a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of excitement to be had.
That's as intense as it gets for drivers.
I hate saying what if or looking back and saying if I had done this or if I had done that.
If you don't make it in the chase, it's a loss of a year.
The most important qualifying session of the year. It's the last race before the chase as we get ready for Sprint Cup Series qualifying from Richmond International Raceway. When I say important, 4 drivers want to have the best starting position they can possibly have as they are currently on the bubble. Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, Jamie McMurray, and Ryan Newman all fighting for the chance for the championship in 2016. Hello everyone, alongside Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton, I'm Rick Allen. And Jeff, the intensity ramps up now as we get ready for qualifying. Just how important is this, especially for the bubble guys, the guys who have to have a good starting position to get as many points as possible?
Well, I think track position matters, especially on these short tracks. It's hard to pass, very competitive, so they want to qualify well. And don't forget about Chris Buescher. If he has to finish in the top 30 in order to advance, so there's a pressure on all these guys because track position is so important.
Well, track position is important not only for the opportunity to win the race or have a good run, but this is a short track. Action happens very quick around this 3/4 mile raceway, and if there's an accident, you could be caught up in it. When you look at those points that need to be made up, 22 points for Ryan Newman, he can be aggressive, but if you're Jamie McMurray and you start in the back, how can you start this race with any sort of confidence that you're going to be able to miss all the accidents?
Every driver that has won a race gets 3 bonus points for that race, and that only is factored in for the first round of the championship. So if you look at the points, the chase is going to start in Chicago, and right now these are the points as they would be running if the chase were to start today. Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski both have 4 wins, so 2,012 points. Points very important to get out of that first round.
They're exceptionally important. So already you can see Kyle Busch has a 12-point advantage over Jamie McMurray, but more importantly, a 9-point advantage over Chris Buescher. If Kyle Busch can win, that's points that he doesn't have to make up in case of a bad spot. So in a 3-race segment, we have 3 3-race segments is what we're getting ready to do. Some are going to transfer by wins, but most are going to transfer by points. So winning gives you bonus points, and it helps you a great deal in this first segment.
And let's be to the point. 3 points. Everybody thinks it's only 3 points. Last year, Dover, to end round 1, Jamie McMurray tied in the points and didn't advance. Tied. 1 point would have been all that mattered. So 3 points to any of these drivers in round 1 could be what it takes.
And remember, this championship has been decided with a tie as well.
Absolutely.
So 1 single point is huge.
And that's 1 position on the racetrack. Well, today, the other thing that the drivers are having to deal with is the weather. 96 degrees right now. The record high for Richmond is 98 degrees. That was back in 1900. So 96 degrees right now. It feels like 103. The track temperature almost 130 degrees. How does that affect this qualifying session?
Well, think about it, Jeff. Not only is it sweltering heat here in the Richmond area, but there's also a 1-day practice show. They have 2 practices in qualifying all on the same day. Very little time to think about what they want to change for the race cars, and now they have to try to adapt and find grip on the very warm racetrack.
And how much is the track going to change, and how much pace is going to be picked up as the track cools down? That's a hard variable that these crew chiefs and drivers are going to have to figure out.
Drivers talking to each other. We're going to hear from a few of the drivers when we come back as we're getting ready to set the field for the final race before the chase from Richmond.